Hey everyone, welcome to the video. We're here to do a real quick update on Bitcoin. It's been a couple days since I've done an update on Bitcoin. I've been spending a lot of my time and effort focusing on some of the other altcoins. As you all know, I talk about Ripple a lot. I talk about Holochain a lot. I talk about Chainlink and all of those. And I figured it was time to do an update here on Bitcoin. I'm seeing some things happening, and I thought that it would be a good idea to talk about what's occurring here, or what I think might be occurring here. And so, of course, I'm going to start with my normal disclaimers that this isn't financial advice, and this is my own opinion on the market. You're responsible for your own trades, and all of that. So a couple things that I do want to pay attention to here is the support that we are finding here at 8,200. So right now we're looking at Bitcoin at about 82.10. And, as a lot of you know that I've been in a low leverage long position since I believe it was about 79.50 or so, right in that area. And I just picked up more here at the 8,200 range. I've got layered buys, and if you're on the Discord, you know that this is kind of where I'm looking at for some consolidation, and that's exactly what it looks like is happening here. So, of course, I do want to go to a slightly higher time frame on the 15-minute right now. Let's go to a 2-hour time frame, and just to take a look at this and see what's happening here in the market. So, a couple things, and let me go ahead and just hide a couple of these indicators just to clean things up a little bit. Now, what I want to focus on here is this 200 simple moving average on the 2-hour time frame, and also the 21 exponential on the 2-hour time frame. So the 2-hour exponential, the 2-hour 21 exponential is this yellow trend line here, and it's actually finding decent support. And what we're finding is that we're selling into that moving average, and it's being bought up, which is a pretty good sign. Things that I would see as being a bad sign is if we fall like we did back here, where we were finding some bullish absorption, or you could call this a support, and then we fall through it. And these types of things, when we start trading under this moving average, are not good. But right now we're trading above it, and so I have to look at this from a bullish bias. I have to take a look at this, that we are trading above this. And if I go to a 3-hour time frame, of course these moving averages are going to look a little bit different. On the 3-hour time frame, not only did we just touch the 21 exponential moving average, but we are continuing to trade above the 100 exponential moving average. So we had the 100 exponential as resistance here, and we tried to push through it, but we had resistance here, and then several areas where we were trying to push through, we just weren't able to make it. And we have been consistently trading above the 100 exponential and also above the 200 simple moving average, which we haven't done in a long time. We broke below the 200 simple moving average on September 20th, and that's when we rolled over and fell. And we have just recently, on the 3-hour time frame, just started trading above that. We have been trading above that 200 simple moving average, and every time we have tested it, we have found lots of buying power above that. And so that is another thing I have to look at from a bullish perspective. If I go to the 4-hour time frame, and I was talking about this on the Discord just yesterday, comparing this to the 100 exponential, we were kind of flirting with this 100 exponential on the 4-hour time frame. We did fall through, but we found a pushback above it, and we're currently trading below it. So on the 4-hour time frame, wouldn't surprise me one bit for us to come back down here somewhere near 81.50 to 81.60. So somewhere in this range. Would not surprise me one bit for us to do this, kind of come down, go back up here, come down, and then we find our support here and move our way up. And how far are we going to go up? That's, that's yet to be determined. I am keeping my eye on this moving average as it's going to continue moving down. So I am going to continue to look at this 200 simple moving average on the 4-hour time frame as the resistance that we need to eventually break up, find support before we can actually start to be bullish again. So I would be very careful being too bullish. There are a lot of people on Twitter and on YouTube and all of these places that are super, super bullish. The 3-hour time frame again does look extremely bullish. The 4-hour time frame is basically saying, you know what, hold on, hold your horses, don't get too bullish because you still have a good area of resistance here. And of course, if we take a look at the 12-hour time frame, we have this 55 exponential at 8,400, we have this 100 exponential sitting here at 88.39, and then we have our major resistance, which is going to be here at about 9,700. And as the days go by, these are going lower and lower. So it is nice on the 12-hour that we're trading above the 21 exponential. This is a good sign. It would look even better if we started to trade above this 55 exponential at 84.25. And again, as these days go by, 21 exponential and the 55 exponential are going to start converging upon each other. So there is more than likely going to be a little bit of expansion on these areas. So I would be paying very close attention to both of these moving averages. So again, the 21 exponential is at 81.62 on the 12-hour time frame. Of course, if we go to a daily, these are going to be right above. This is our major overhead resistance, the 21 exponential on the daily. We had a cross when we were consolidating in this cluster up here. We tried to push above it. It was a clear rejection. Now we're going to be attempting to push above that 21 exponential again. And just to put things into perspective here, we tried to push above it and we had our clear rejection. We tried to push above it again and we had not as impressive of a rejection, and now we're trying to push above it again for the third time since trying up here. My bias is we are probably going to push above it, and more than likely we are going to probably test maybe the 200 simple on the daily, and also potentially this 55 exponential, which is again continuing to move down. So we could push up here to create our potential double top in this area before we move down. So again, I might have a bullish bias right now, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I think this is the time where we're just going to move up here to higher highs. I do think that this is potentially going to be a little bit of a trap, so I'd be very careful holding any positions that are going to last longer than between 86 and 8,800. But nonetheless, I do think, especially on these lower time frames, this is where you tend to get caught with the chop. And so, this is kind of what's happening here. We're seeing a move up, move down, move up, move down. And then eventually one of these is going to win. And so you just have to keep your stop losses and watch to see where things are going to break up or break down. But right now in the 3-hour time frame, we're above every major moving average that is worth paying attention to. We're above the 55 exponential. We're above the 21 exponential. We're above the 100 exponential. And we're above the 200 simple. Again, this is the first time we've been trading above consistently for numerous candles, since mid-September. We were trading above the 200 simple moving average in this cluster range here, but it's been a long time since we came below and moved above. And if we can see some follow through up here, I think this would be really, really great. From a wave standpoint, very easy for us to see from down here. We have a good wave 1, wave 2, and now we're in wave 3, potentially creating, maybe a flat, an ABC here. And then, this is also possible that we're going to create something a little bit like this. And then we're going to see our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to move up there to potentially 87 to 8,900. Again, still has some time to put in, but it would be very, very good for us to see something like this start to form on this, on this 3-hour time frame. A nice, um, you know, a nice pennant for us to create here, for this to kind of resolve to continue to move upward to create that fifth wave. Fifth wave would be nice to see. We did have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that was created here. Now we're just creating a smaller version of it. And yeah, at least from a support and resistance standpoint, we do again have this same trend line here that we were looking at, a while back. So we do have that area to look at from a support resistance standpoint, because it was resistance for us. In this level right here on October the 13th. It was also resistance all the way back here on September 30th and again on October 1st. So this is a good resistance area to look for. From a support standpoint, we are probably going to be looking at this cluster right here in this range. So this range right there, 8120 to 8173, are areas of support that we would be looking at if we do fall that low. But nonetheless, I believe, are consolidating in this area. So I am short-term bullish on Bitcoin right now. I think this is a good area for you to at least start to look for some swings. So that's kind of my thought right now. But again, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to let me know. I figured I'd keep this one short and sweet. It's pretty straightforward. It does look like we're consolidating a little bit here on the 3-hour time frame. Things are looking pretty good. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Otherwise, I will see you all on the Discord.